And welcome back to the podcast. This is Bedouin Banter. I'm Khalid the Dostari.
I'm Ahmed al-Matrouk.
And I'm Muhammad Sultan, KOJ.
We back!
We back, finally.
Sorry, I screamed into the mic.
وأخيراً we're back.
Finally.
How are things?
Okay, as usual.
I disagree with you.
I was literally just going to say that.
I don't think you're okay, Matrouk.
You don't seem okay, man.
Well, it's just I've been suffering from post-travel depression.
Yeah.
Been gone for 2 months.
Just to explain, this bastard in front of me texting me from Morocco for I don't know how long. Was it a month that you were there?
2 months.
2 months.
Yeah.
Morocco, and then the end of the trip.
And then suddenly Spain.
Spain, Barcelona.
That was a last-minute sort of adjustment to the trip.
Last minute, because he gets free tickets on flights Saudi, and it's just like, oh, do you want to go to Barcelona? Sure, why not? I don't know. And he ended up going there, and he texts me from there. He's like, man, I miss Bahrain, bro. And this is what I freaking hate about Bahrainis. You'll never hear a Saudi go, bro, Saudi. يعني في وطنية. We're like, we love our friends. They'll be like, I miss you. I miss my family. That's the Saudi. I was like, okay, but I'm in London. I'm gonna stay there for a while. That's gonna happen. Bahrainis, no. Bahrainis have nostalgia. They forget.
Yeah, like the sort of Gulbi fil Bahrain kind of vibe. But no, see what I missed for me was just the freedom of movement that I had in Bahrain.
Yeah.
Because, I have my own car, I have my own, my friends, my group of friends, yada, yada.
Yeah.
That's just that freedom of movement that I missed. But believe me when I tell you that once I arrived, I got out of the airport and it was so humid. I don't know if I was crying or if it was just the sweat trickling down my
You
face.
suddenly remembered everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, suddenly you were like,
sort of came back to
You
me.
privileged son of a bitch. Zayn, that is what's going on.
This
And I believe
guy, man.
مو انها ما تصير في السعودية. It happens to Saudis. Okay, this happens. We say, okay, you can go on a scholarship, whatever it is. You're in the States. You're there for 2 years, and then you're like, I miss Saudi. I miss my family. You start to appreciate. But never do they do this bipolar shit that you guys do. Every 3 months, it's like, Bahrain's shit, bro. Bahrain's boring, bro. I don't know what to do in Bahrain, bro. There's no events, there's nothing. And it's like, it's the same event every freaking year. I want to go away, man.
I think that's why Hotel California is a favorite of a lot of Bahrainis because, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave, that kind of shit.
That's it. I think there's an actual Hotel California in Jafar.
There is a Hotel California in Jafar.
Yeah, and the prostitutes never leave.
They want to, but they always want to come back.
They check out, but they just wake up there the same day. Yeah.
This guy, I swear to God, man, there's like 500,000 Bahrainis who just want to leave.
Yeah.
And you're like, I want to come back. I want to come back, man. I can't stand Barcelona anymore.
They can't.
I think it's like...
It's shit.
I think it's like, with Bahrainis, a lot of them talk about, wanting to leave the country, wanting to find jobs outside. But then, when it comes time to actually, decision time, come on, man. He's like, no, man, I don't want to leave. I want to stay here. It's easier here. I'll live with my parents and I don't have to pay rent or whatever. Like, this sort of responsibility, just hits them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not surprising, man.
They're
It's
like, screw that.
It's almost like a common Bahraini thing,
But that's normal. Like I've had. Well, I think this was in the missing episode that we haven't uploaded. But I think I'm gonna upload it because it's October, because it's a Women's Month, right? It's the feminist thing,
Right.
I don't know if it's a feminist thing, but yay, feminism.
Sorry to all of you feminists.
No,
It's only Khalid.
It's only Khalid.
أنا ومتروك يعني we're all for, we're all for that.
OJ speaks for me, okay?
Yeah. Okay. So we didn't upload it yet, but it'll probably be uploaded before this one. I don't know. We've finally gotten back to things. I was gonna say, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say, if when we talked about that question that they asked us, because we posed a few questions to some of the women out there when we did our live stream, and one of the questions was, why do Arab men never leave their parents' house? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is what this brings it back to. It's like, because it's freaking easy, man.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go out and not spend on apartments and spend on everything else, especially if you're living in Saudi? And the shitty apartments single people have to live in?
Yeah.
It's like, no, the rats don't live
Like bachelor
there.
pads, basically.
Yes, bachelor pads. Rats don't live there. Cockroaches go there, but they're the worst of the cockroaches. They're not like the Saudi cockroaches. They're like the freaking...
The tier below.
below. It's not the desert ones اللي عندهم فيلا وفي البحر وما شنو. No.
It's the ones that sort of the really dark ones with wings and whatever.
Yes, those ones. I was gonna say where
Those
they're
that
from.
jump at you.
I was gonna accidentally say where they're from as an actual like bug science. I don't know what they call bug science.
Bug science.
But I realized if I had said what their actual designation was, it would be immediately racist. I think you know what I was going to say.
I think I know what you're going to say.
But that's the fact. There are those two species of cockroaches, and you can look this up. I wasn't making like any kind, but I just realized it just happens to be that those typical dingy little places only have those kinds of cockroaches, and I don't know why.
But see, why don't men leave their parents' house? You know, it could be the same could be said about the woman. Honestly, like let's be real here. They want to talk about
not exactly.
Habibi, they want to talk about equality and whatever, right?
Okay. No, but we want to talk about reality as well.
Sure, it's hard enough to get a job in Bahrain nowadays. Okay, like it's a buyer's market basically. They have no choice but to stay at home. But then they're being pressured. Okay, Allah, get married, get a house, get a job, yada yada, and we're not exactly the most active generation ever. We like to procrastinate. So there's that. And,
or when we do get a job, it's a bullshit job.
It is a bullshit job.
Yeah, we lie to ourselves.
Yeah, I know that because I feel it all the time. Like I feel like I have my job and I try hard to do my job, but then I can't justify it no matter how much I do it because it's like at the end of the game, end of the day, I'm always saying, okay, it's gaming related or it's this related or it's. Well, actually,
that's because of the culture we live in.
Yeah, but
because other people don't see it as a real job. That's why.
Yeah, but that's my insecurity, right? That's me. At the end of the day, it's me saying, no matter how much of a job effort I put into it, I don't believe myself. Like, and my wife will tell me, "Shfiqet, khalas, stop doing
Get over it, man. You're 30 something years old, man.
You don't have to prove anything to anybody." And I keep doing this, and That is why I got a job at Radio Bahrain.
How's that working out?
By the way, that's not a real job either.
No, it's not.
You're kidding yourself.
I figured that out today. I was like, God damn it, government. Nobody works in government. What the hell?
I think some people would see it as a real job because you're working in the public sector.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are like, oh, yeah, public sector. Oh, you're basically unfireable.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I'm not one of them. My contract is nowhere near that kind of...
I like the sound of the unfireable.
It's not true.
Untouchable, this guy.
No, we don't have pension. I don't get jack shit based on my contract. But what was I going to say? You know what was ironic about that?
Please tell me.
I got the job after I was talking about how I hated their editing on this podcast. I literally, like, Imran asked me, he's like, so, yeah, I've been hearing about you for a while, and I feel like I've seen your work before, and would you like to be part of this group of people that are doing Radio Bahrain, and a new generation of people, we're going private. I don't know why I'm doing a really good Imran impression. But I said, yeah, did you listen to the podcast?
Clearly not.
I was like, did you listen? Because I made sure, and even if he didn't listen to that episode, I kept trickling in those same sentences while I'm sitting around with him. So after the fact, he can't go, hey, wait a minute. Like he was taking the piss out of our editing work, and he's working for Radio Bahrain. What the hell?
You think you're unfireable?
But to be fair, Khalid, you didn't mention the radio station.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Did I?
Nope.
Well, he did now. It's too late.
I'm sorry. You shot yourself in the foot.
I think I did. I think that's. Oh yeah, at the time I remember saying they will not be named, but we all know who they are.
Exactly.
No, but it's fine. It's fine because the news station, for those of you that don't know, is not going to be the same Radio Bahrain that you've.
Wait, are they really going private?
They're going private. This is legit.
What?
I wouldn't have been on board if it wasn't legit.
I didn't know that you could do that in Bahrain, or is that a new thing now?
Because it's coming from the highest place of power.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What does private entail? Like what privileges come with privatization?
Everything that, let's say you want to commercialize products, go out for sponsorships. Like right now, for example, I can't go on Radio Bahrain. For those of you that do not know, even though you constantly tell me to plug your stuff, I cannot promote anything that makes a profit. Because the proper way to get advertising done has to go through the marketing department that has nothing to do with us. So the marketing department approves our ads and they tell us what we can plug, what we don't, everything else. So you cannot do any kind of like, suddenly I'm going to collaborate and talk about this person's show or plug this stand-up. If the second like it's a charity event, fine. It's a free show.
or صيف البحرين.
Yeah.
في البحرين.
By the way, I did that ad, so I'm very sorry if you heard it.
What?
صيف البحرين ad.
صدق والله?
Yeah.
Oh god.
هلا
I
في-
can hear it in my head the whole time because I've been editing that shit. That's amazing stuff for
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Is هلا فبراير is it Bahrain or is it Kuwait? I keep getting confused.
What is?
هلا فبراير.
No, I don't think
I
that's
don't know.
Bahrain.
Hello
I
February.
have no idea.
No, I've never heard that in
The
Bahrain.
commercials I had to listen to, and because my slot is from 9 to 12 on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Plug is it's called the dead air spot because it's the one they use for everybody training, and it's like right after the morning show, so that's the peak hour, and then the afternoon show is another peak hour, and then weekends it's the night shitty. That's a low, like nobody listens to that thing. You can just fart into the mic and nobody hears it. It's like, oh, it's really bad. No, I kept listening to The Predator for like weeks when I first started. I was like, Predator, 9:20. Make sure don't miss your slot. Play The Predator. Play The Predator. The Predator.
that?
Is it,
The movie.
I thought you were talking about
Is
the
it?
Ice Cube song.
No, there's an Ice Cube song called The Predator.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
good.
have no idea.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Dude,
from the west side.
I don't know anything about music. I just have a job that has to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
you were into indie
Yeah,
and garage rock. And,
yeah, thank you.
and trap music.
Thank you.
And he calls me a person with no taste in
I
music.
didn't say you. I said you make me hate music.
Yeah, it's just Rush, man.
One of
It's like
the few people that can convert good things into hate, and I don't know how he does it.
Can we not mention Rush, please? I don't want to get into that.
I already did, man.
Not today, man. Not
No,
today.
not today. This is October.
See, I used to like Rush.
Before him.
Before him, yeah.
And then
I used
he
to really
met me.
like Rush. And then I met this guy.
Now I'm looking at that Bruce Springsteen shirt. And I'm like, oh my god, what is he gonna
Yeah,
do?
thank God I don't like Bruce
I used to
Springsteen.
I used to love Max Weinberg. Now I'm starting to hate him.
Dude, Bruce Springsteen in the morning is pretty good.
You're asleep in the morning. What are you talking about?
But sometimes I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to listen
Bruce
to Bruce
Springsteen,
Springsteen.
yeah.
By morning, he means 12 p.m.
Yes.
Yes.
For those who don't know.
I am not-
He woke up the other day just to tell me how much he hated the show. He made a conscious effort
To wake
to
up and
stop being comfortable and dreaming something amazing to display his level of hatred. That was commitment, Salah.
What can I say?
dedication, man.
I'm
Dedication.
building up to be a really bitter old man.
I see that. I see
and I'm 21.
Yeah.
I wonder what it will be like if I get to 25.
I can't wait till you have your cranky age.
Oh,
You're just
no.
gonna be like completely taking it.
I
back.
think that's gonna come sooner than expected, unless a lot of other things change in my life. It's gonna come sooner than expected. Anyways, so it's October,
Yes, it is.
Halloween month.
Yes.
Yep.
We don't. Do we celebrate Halloween in Bahrain? Because like there are a few parties here and there, but like let's say PG celebrations of
No,
Halloween.
it's just the private parties. It's like movie events are usually the ones. What I'm surprised about is that for some reason nobody makes their conventions during October.
Do you count Animania? Because
I mean, it just finished. It
honestly,
was
like
Yeah, it was like the end of-
I made a joke. I was like, "Ooh, Halloween came early." Like when I was
yeah,
there.
and both of the big like horror movies came out in September. And I don't understand. Like, why did The Nun come out in September? If like I feel like they're just dragging Halloween and everything else earlier and earlier in the year marketing wise, just to be able to push more shit at Christmas. You know what I mean?
That's interesting. Yeah, I never thought of that. And you're right. I would have thought that The Nun would have came out in October.
September,
Yeah.
early September.
I mean, to be fair, it was shit, so, you know.
I agree. Yeah, thank
I
you.
don't know
OG,
why you
thank
guys hate it. I have no idea why you freaking hate it.
It's a bad
like
movie.
it?
I didn't hate it. I didn't like it, but I didn't hate it.
No, you were raving
Okay,
about
look,
it for
I-
2 days.
I said it was. I got real scares. I don't understand why people. They're like, oh, it was jump scares. How the fuck do you want a demon to scare you, man?
See, that's the thing. That's what it is.
What is it?
It's the jump scares thing.
That's what bothers people.
Yeah.
That's what.
You know why? Because for a while we've been getting some really decent horror films, like what's it called, A Quiet Place? The
yes.
Witch.
But that's the thing. I wouldn't consider The Quiet Place a horror film.
It is a horror film.
I know, but I
It's-
wouldn't consider it.
Why no? Why not though?
Because it's more. I think what's missing is that people like.
Because there are no jump scares.
No, because the thing is scary, but it's not about the monster.
Yeah, exactly.
not about the monster.
Exactly, and that's what's so good about it. That's what makes it a good horror film.
Yeah, it's more exactly. I know where you're coming from,
Yeah.
but sorry, in Ripley and Alien, you didn't think about.
Oh,
how-
had to happen.
15
It had to
minutes
happen.
in.
That was the plan, by the way. Good job. Good job. I knew it was coming.
Connect the dots.
Alien
but see-
counter is 1.
You're gonna have to count that.
You don't know Ripley's emotional state, is what I'm saying. You know, you don't like. I understand it's good. It adds dimension, it adds depth, but it's also like that close to the M Night Shyamalan level of emotional intrigue, Yanni.
Yeah, and it's not only that. I think I don't. Maybe it's just me, but maybe because I've just watched way too many horror films, and I think at a certain point you kind of get desensitized, especially to jump scares.
Yeah.
You know?
Like,
At a certain point, you're like it doesn't make you jump anymore because you know when
You
they're
see
coming.
them coming.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think it is, though? I think it's because of Insidious and everything else has already become repetitive with the Wan movies.
See, that's the interesting thing. I thought Insidious was actually a decent horror film,
That's what's surprising to me. It's like it had the same kind of jump scares.
but did it really?
The face, you guys can't see me because I'm holding up my hand right next to my
but
face.
that wasn't really. See, okay, maybe it started off in Insidious, and that's why I think it was kind of annoying because they just kept doing the same thing.
I
over
think
and
if
over
you see
again.
it right now, if you go back and you watch Insidious, because what Insidious has its own filter for hipsters. It makes people remember all the old 70s and early 80s horror movies
that
with
too.
its stylization to look like those movies and feel like those movies, that you just gloss over all the jump scares, but they're there.
I'm not saying there are no jump scares in there. I'm just saying it was a better constructed mainstream horror film than the 90s.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I guess.
Like that and The Conjuring as well. I think that the first time I watched The Conjuring, it was actually a decent film. I really liked it.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I
pretty
think
good.
it's just the formula's cost. It's been done.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean
we're-
that's what happens with
Yeah.
horror sequels. You can go back all the way to the Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
You know, it's just they keep rehashing things and they squeeze everything out of it until
The
it's
truck
done.
looks like he's constipated and wants to say something. What do you want to say, buddy?
Sorry, just so I don't forget that. But what's interesting? What's so interesting that what's happening right now is that you're getting these niche horror films like Quiet Place and The Witch
Yes.
that are getting.
I didn't see The Witch, though. Is it
The
good?
Witch is probably the scariest thing I've seen for the last 7 years, man.
All right.
And
It's a bold claim.
That's really. I mean, if you're.
That is a bold claim.
It's honestly, and it's not because I don't think there was like one jump scare in there, which is why it creeps me the hell out to think why I was scared about it. It's just because I haven't.
Did you feel like...
I was always on edge.
Right.
It was so creepy. It kind of crawls into your skin.
Can I just peg you for a second, trying to figure out where you are here? Sorry, Matruk keeps going. Say what you want to say. I'm sorry.
Do you think you were on edge because you were expecting a jump scare, like subconsciously you were expecting a jump scare, but it didn't come? So
For
it's
me?
just sort of OG.
Maybe at the beginning, but as the film kept going, I think it was how mysterious the whole thing was.
Right.
Even especially at, it's just that fear of the unknown, you know.
Right.
It just brought me all the way back to the essence of what a horror film is, you know.
Ooh, the essence.
Just
Let me try to see if I can put you in a box here. I don't like putting people in a box, but
Please
this
do,
is a test. Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project. I haven't seen it for a long time. I don't remember the first time I watched it. I was alone, literally home alone.
Because that
I was
reinvented
like-
the genre. But a lot of people look at it now and they're like, oh, wait, it was actually shit.
I think the Blair Witch Project was new. That's why it was like scary and shocking.
Yes.
It was just like, you know,
The found footage.
Yeah,
thing,
the generation that was exposed to what's it called, Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
I thought when I watched Paranormal Activity, I was more scared than when I watched the Blair Witch Project.
I didn't find... look, I didn't like Blair Witch Project, but for entirely other reason, we got robbed in the middle of the movie. So that's it's not a fair, assessment.
I don't think it's one of those great horror films, but I do think that it was playing with very interesting horror tropes,
Right.
you know, especially with the found footage.
I know what
thing.
you're saying. I know the found footage thing was a new mechanic and everything else. Matruk. Matruk. Say your thing.
As much as I'd love to keep on talking about
Horror movies.
horror
We always
movies.
go down this rabbit hole because of
always
OJ.
go down
we
this
always
rabbit
do.
OJ
hole.
started it, but it's October as well.
It is
it's-
October, but hey, I have something Halloween related. So I was on Instagram the other day. I was on my Explore page, and there's a lot of models that kept popping up.
Oh, wow.
Right, Instagram models, and the one video, sorry, caught my eye because
Models or fashionistas?
models.
Vixens.
Models.
Very different. Very different.
All right, so like,
Fashionistas are fashionable women that think they're hot sometimes when they're not necessarily. And models actually get, These days, everybody gets paid.
Everybody gets
paid.
paid.
Yeah.
So
They'll
easy
get
to
paid.
get paid nowadays. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, all right. So
But
go
you
ahead.
can
So
never
these
find
are
a
these
job.
are
Anyways.
actual like cover models, like from magazines and other.
No. She was an Instagram model. See, what pissed me off was she posted this video, and it was a very, very provocative video.
Okay.
Extremely provocative. Very sexual, and
Right.
I don't want to get into details. Anyways, so she...
Wait, you sure? This is what kind of model is this? What are you?
I don't know where he's getting at. He's looking at October.
See, what bothered me was that she was wearing Freddy Krueger's costume.
That bothered you?
Yeah, that really bothered me.
Was she making it sexy? Is that what bothered
No, because like she was wearing like the whole gloves with the knives and the top and the hat and whatever, and she was just basically okay. I gotta see. She was like shaking her ass and whatever. I was just like, you know what? My mind is really confused right now because the image I have is Freddy Krueger, and my eyes are seeing this. So it was like a
Your
real
brain
big
was like
conflict.
having a brain, it was just completely farting out on you.
Exactly.
I could imagine like Jason coming in and just stabbing. I won, Freddy.
And then Jason twerks.
Is this doing anything for you, Matruk?
But yeah, seriously, it made me think about all the people that dress up for Halloween.
Yeah.
Especially the guys and the girls. Like I saw a meme yesterday about the moth meme.
Mothman, you
The
mean?
moth meme.
That's killing me, by the way.
That is
What's
killing
a
me.
moth?
That's
No,
really
I
killing
don't-
me.
I'm
You
really
haven't
not-
seen... No. You have to see this.
It's basically a meme with like
send it to you.
basically a zoom in of a moth's face, like a moth that looks like really sad.
What?
And they just make all these like lamp
With like
puns
Keanu
and whatever.
Reeves sad? Like what?
No. It's literally a picture of a moth, like a real moth.
Okay.
And hold on, because I have a friend.
It is hilarious.
Okay. All right. Okay. So describe it for
Okay,
people that haven't seen
you
it.
remember that? Okay, you know what? Let me just.
Because they're not going to be able to see this, so we
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
describe it, or give
So-
them its tag how to look it up at least.
That's the thing. I don't even know what's. Is there a hashtag for it?
I don't know. Just,
Moth
just
meme?
look up for.
If you
Just
just-
look up moth meme.
If you just type moth meme,
Moth meme. Moth meme. Pull that up, Jamie. Oh wait, we don't have it.
we don't have a Jamie here.
God
That's
damn it,
what I
Jamie.
have.
But still, the amount of memes coming out with this is unreal. Like I took a very long dump at the bathroom the other day just looking at moth memes.
Oh my
They're
God.
hilarious.
The origin of the moth meme. Let's listen to this. Alright, so this is a guy looking for a moth. He's going down the basement. He's looking around. He has weird shades on. I think they're the old round ones that people in old Shanghai used to wear.
And like a really big net
Yes.
for a moth.
We're gonna be finding some moths.
Is this the actual meme?
That's not the meme.
I think it's coming now. Wait, hold on.
Wait, is this? I think this is some guy trying to do his own video to get him.
I don't know.
Basically, it's a
Wait, hold
picture
on.
of this big moth. Oh, there it is.
Is this it?
Hold on a second.
Wait, this is PewDiePie. I got. Why do people do that? I hate when they do that on YouTube. They're like, "Oh, this is the one you're looking for. You click right here. It's the thing you're looking for."
It's not.
All right. I can see the picture now on their thumbnail. At least that is the moth.
That
right?
is the
That
moth.
is the
yes.
moth. Yeah, that is the infamous moth. And what they're doing is, so there's, I think one of the famous ones was when Thomas Edison invented.
Yeah.
What's it called? Light bulb. And then you get a picture of that moth basically in like was the 1800s or so.
Oh my God. Why did it start? Because it looked sad, and they were like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I like it because it kind of reminds me of one of my favorite Family Guy cutaway scenes, where where there's like a giant mosquito outside, and Peter was like, "No, go away." And the mosquito's like, "Oh, I want some warmth or whatever."
some part of it today.
And then Chris like opens the door and he goes inside. It's really hilarious.
I like it because it's clever, like people have really put some interesting thought into it.
Yeah.
Like the one I sent you was a light bulb. It was a street light that fell on a car.
Yeah.
And then below it, it's just the moth looking at you. It's like, I wish I was there, man. It's just hilarious.
I
man.
just saw one of like the freaking y'all got anything with like a moth like as what's his name? I forget what Dave Chappelle. When he goes, Dave Chappelle's crackhead character has got y'all got any more of them lamps?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Peanut butter and crack sandwich.
Why do these memes like I swear there's somebody out there, some scientist is just sitting around, he's going crazy for the last 15 years trying to figure out how memes work. Like what generates it, what does it, what makes it
I don't
viral?
know. I think when you read into, I think when did it start? When did the meme thing start? Was it Richard Dawson? What's it called? Dawkins.
You mean the actual like naming
actual
of the
name
word?
of the
Yeah,
meme. Like,
meme
he's
is-
the one who-
I think so. Yeah,
who
he
named
started
it.
it. He started it.
So
Dawkins?
The name could have been there before, but Dawkins popularized it in his
Yeah.
book. I can't remember which one.
because meme, what a meme is, it's basically the smallest unit of an idea. That's what a meme
The
is.
Selfish Gene. I
Yeah.
think that was the book. The Selfish Gene.
It's almost like it's basically just like a gene. So it's just
Yeah.
a sort of a
So I think he coined the term. I'm not sure if it existed before he
think
did,
he
but
did, yeah.
he made it popular, the term, and then
Okay.
it started getting applied to the internet and how memes would spread.
And I think the reason why it's spreading so much is because of how connected we are, how connected to it we are
Yeah.
as like human beings.
Right? Yeah.
Like these smallest ideas. It's almost like the archetypes of.
But can you imagine, like, if you were like you're stuttering? You're stuttering? No, I'm stuttering.
I was stuttering a little bit.
I think that's a Freudian slip right there. No, can you imagine if you were one of these people that studied marketing your whole life, right? You've been selling it as a science. You've been trying to do the numbers. You're trying to crunch. You might have been like really into stats for a very long time, and then or one of these people that try to like predict elections. You know, that kind of guy. And then memes come along. Nothing.
See, that's the interesting thing. What I think is the way I imagine it is that these have existed for a long time. It's just that we haven't really found a name for them until like 2009 or something. That's when it got really popular.
But can you even predict it? Can you even say, look, if we have enough computing power and we make a supercomputer, at some point we'll be able to predict everybody's patterns, everybody's behavior? I don't believe that.
Possible.
I don't. I think people just naturally are just meaningless.
You think it's all random? I think there are certain things that catch up because they're deeply rooted into our psyche. I do believe that. Like there are stories. Shit. We always go back to Jordan Peterson. It's like, goddamn, it's either aliens or that.
No, do it.
But I'm not. I'm gonna try to divert. But what I think what's happening is that these really old stories, like when you watch something that is so popular, like Thor, for example,
yeah.
you know, and it's that very common story of those two brothers fighting.
Yeah.
You go back all the way to Cain and Abel.
Yes, yeah.
That's why this thing is just so commonly understood. And I think that's the same thing with memes.
But a sad moth has no mythological barrier behind it. I'm sorry.
But that's why these memes die off really quickly.
Well, you mean it's the start of an idea, like you would in a
Yeah.
brainstorming session, right? But that's what I'm saying. The best brainstorming sessions, even in improv or anything else that you're doing, it's a brain fart. Your brain of a computer just went and just came out with an idea, and that idea can sometimes be valid enough to continue the process on.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying, what I'm getting at here is that no matter how much you try to predict human behavior, you can predict certain patterns. Yes. You can influence behavior. Yes. Can you predict what's going to be popular next?
I mean,
I don't
I
think
agree
so,
with you.
no.
I agree
I don't
with
think
you.
you can ever do that.
That's nearly impossible.
That's the holy grail.
Because you can't go back all the way to 2001 and say, oh, I'm and somewhere around 2018 there's gonna be a moth meme going around.
Exactly.
Like you can't do that.
No.
I mean-
but sorry.
Okay,
know.
Matrouk never gets to speak.
can you predict like the you can predict, I believe, major events that may happen, but not
Right.
like, OJ, like, no, ain't nobody gonna predict a moth beam in
Yeah, exactly.
2018.
Yes,
You gotta sort of categorize what it is you're predicting. Are you trying to predict something small, or are you trying to predict something huge? You know what I mean?
Well, I think a part of it is it has to be a genuine impulse from people to start the meme. So, I mean, a lot of companies try to start memes.
Yeah.
Right? A lot. They freaking try so
They do.
hard.
They do.
They go on Twitter
but
and
some
everything.
some of them actually do a really decent job at it. The last one I remember that really struck a chord was the Nike one.
Oh, you mean Kaepernick?
The one that with Kaepernick and some other fellas. And what happened? I don't know if they predicted this, but they probably did. I'm just going to go on a limb here and assume that they did.
Right.
I think they just predicted that this is going to catch on and people are going to start making memes out of it.
But that's what I said. They can influence, they cannot
Yeah, yeah.
create. There's a difference.
Yeah.
You can yes. You can influence the environment, and the environment then comes up with. That's like taking 12 monkeys and putting them in a room with a typewriter. They're going to type some shit at some point, right?
At some point, yeah.
So that is the idea. They're taking monkeys, putting them in a room, trying to like get the monkeys to get angry. They stimulate them. They poke them with electricity, and at some point, some idea is going to pop out.
Just like how we started this podcast today.
yeah.
We're three monkeys in a
We
room.
didn't have anything to talk about. Like, I had one story about Halloween, though, the Freddy Krueger one. That's it.
And we got some monkeys.
Yeah, we got.
You got
We're
some-
tapping some shit right now, I
Yeah,
think.
it's October for you right there.
It is October.
All right, so that's my theory about why memes are beautiful, because they're random as shit.
Yeah, and I think you're right. You're right. I think that's what's really beautiful about them, and I think memes sort of they're one of the few things that really
Make trips to the bathroom very interesting.
that too.
You know, back then you had like magazines. Now we have memes.
Yeah.
But that's what makes the internet so beautiful, you know. Like you can someone out there
chaos.
in a bunker, you know, can just type something
Well,
and put a picture of it, and they're like, it just catches on.
Well, that's why nobody wants it to get regulated, because then you'd lose that.
Yeah.
If you regulate it, then there's no more like randomness and what
Absolutely.
could happen next.
See, I'm more interested in like the source of the meme. Like, for example, the moth meme. Who made the first meme? It sort of reminds me, again, coming back to Family Guy. Do you know the episode where they try to track down the origin of a joke?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, and they get trapped in that prison.
Yeah.
Like
Can you,
that.
can you imagine, like, if you could actually do that, like, you could own the rights to a meme, and just go. You know, no, I made the goddamn moth famous, man. I was like trying to.
That's
hook
the
up,
thing. You can never. That's something about the internet. Yeah.
anybody can
can't.
claim credit for it.
Exactly.
You can't say you can't be with like chatting up a girl somewhere in London or something.
And I don't know. I don't know if
you
it,
know that moth meme.
and I don't know if it is possible to track something like that.
I was responsible for Doge. Do you remember Doge?
Because if you go back all the way back, I think at least to me, I just imagine that it's almost like a collective effort on the internet.
Yeah.
So I don't think there was this one first meme that emerged. I think it was just a collection of things.
Well, that's what happens. Is one guy throws something out there, then some other person says something funny about it, maybe.
Yeah.
And maybe some other third person gets pissed off, and then that starts a
Yeah,
conversation.
so it's like
and
no matter
somehow-
what you do, you'll go back.
Yeah.
You will go into a wormhole. You know?
Yeah,
It's
you weren't-
never-
It's like a square root effect. Like, not a square root. Like, it just sort of
fractal.
infinity.
fractal something.
Blowing my
You know what I mean? Like, just like that.
That's the one thing about Black Mirror. They haven't made an episode about memes.
Memes?
Memes.
Didn't they though? Wait, hold on.
Nope.
Ah, that would be interesting.
Should be.
Well, if Black Mirror make an episode
Wait.
about memes, then we know who created it, who came up with the idea. Sorry,
Yeah.
the Bedouin Banter podcast.
Right,
Yeah.
yo.
Absolutely. We wrote that episode. It's
did.
here.
Pay me my money, Netflix.
What's
All
up? Does I have a question? Does Spotify employ the same algorithm as Netflix?
I have no idea.
I
Why?
don't.
You sound like you're sketched out and worried about something.
No, because
It's like everything pops up. It's always Rush. Why is it? Why is it always Rush? God damn it!
that's
Either
not
Rush
that
or Bruce.
it's just that, like, with Spotify, I keep getting the same songs, like the same songs, and I
Yeah.
try to diversify on purpose. Like, for like 5 minutes, I'd be listening to.
That's literally what I just said.
Just rephrase it.
It's Rush, isn't it?
It's not
you're
Rush.
getting Tom Sawyer.
It's not Rush.
Like, would you like some more Rush?
No, because one time I'd be listening to like gangster rap, and then I'd be listening to Kendrick, and then I'd be listening to Rush.
Would it freak you out if like like at one point it just says, "Hey, would you like some trap?" Like, whoa, what is it
That-
hearing?
that would
freak you out.
that would
It would be
freak
like
me
it's
out.
listening to me. How does it know I made fun of Khalid's selection of trap?
Exactly.
You know what algorithm really scares me?
What?
The one that YouTube has.
Which one is that one?
I don't know what kind of shit they've been cooking over there, man.
Yeah, but they
But
know.
there are certain things that pop up
But it's
that I'm like, how the
But
hell?
these days, it's become really obvious to me that it's annoying because, like, for example, I watch Jordan Peterson, and it'll give me the most conservative crap. Like, it really goes to the extreme, and I'm like, dude, I get offended. I'm like, I'm not this guy. I'm not gonna watch this guy.
Khalid,
Come
here's
on.
another opinion.
Yeah, like, no, but it's not even that because YouTube. I have to actually restart my account now because I can't get balanced points of view.
Really? That's so interesting. I actually do. I don't know what I was watching a couple of weeks ago, and it was something that someone said in the video.
Right.
And I remember that kind of just stuck with me. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I should look that up. And then the next day, I don't know who was listening to that shit. The next day, I'm like, something related to that pops up.
Yeah.
and it was you cannot. I don't know if it was somewhere in the hashtags that it was there.
I don't get it.
I just don't get how that's.
Dude, I'm telling you, sometimes they're smart, sometimes they're dumb.
No, it's weird because like one time I was listening to Woodstock.
Right.
Like the 1969, I was listening to Santana. I was listening to The Who and Jimi Hendrix. Like I was just going through
Name dropping.
Yeah, basically just going through like, artists in the late 60s and the 70s, right?
people.
And then in my
Would you like some ABBA?
And then in my recommended, it's like Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Like some song by Lil Wayne. I'm just like, what? What?
At least it's not Gucci Mane.
There's no correlation there. He watched that video by Snoop Dogg. Did you watch it?
Which one? I was laughing my ass off.
He was making fun of like new rappers nowadays.
Mumble rap.
I think I've seen that.
But that's so true. Like
It is.
I love Snoop Dogg. He reached a point in his career where he just doesn't give a single shit anymore. You know?
Respect to Snoop Dogg, man.
He don't care.
Like
But what
him-
happened to Snoop Lion? Didn't he become Snoop
He became
Lion?
so many things. He became
For
Snoop
like
Dogg
5
and
minutes.
Snoop Lion for like an
I
hour.
went to Jamaica and I met with a shaman. It's like there's no shamans in Jamaica.
I mean, his most recent like stunt is basically Reverend Snoop Dogg. Well, that's not his name. It's like Reverend Snoop Dogg because he like released a gospel album.
Oh, is it?
And it's
Yeah.
funny because like on Spotify when you check out his album, it's all explicit. And then when you look at the
Right.
gospel
It's like
album, it's really clean. It's really polished.
Claim for Jesus.
Yeah, because he became Uncle Snoop.
Did you guys see that? The Church of Beyonce.
No,
Please
but
tell me you've seen that.
no, but I heard about the Church of David Bowie.
David Bowie's dead. Okay, that's the reason why you'd have a church, and he kind of might say, "Okay, I get it. I've seen his fans."
There are 4 members of that church, by the way.
Oh, then no, this does not compare. Please, everybody, right now, stop listening to the podcast. No, don't stop. Don't stop.
don't,
Subscribe,
please.
hit notify, whatever you want, but don't stop. Go check out the Church of Beyonce. This shit is surreal. It is literally like a full-blown church out of San Francisco.
Is it with all the single ladies?
all their songs are sung in gospel?
Oh, no. I did hear about it. I saw a clip on you.
It is insane. They
Yeah, I
think-
saw that.
I did.
They think she's divine.
actual thing.
Yeah, it's an actual thing. She's divine. She's sent out all these positive messages. She must be divine. It's like it completely. Beyonce has gotten that big because she's also not only was huge in the States before, but then she went down the whole affirming black culture and supporting black culture and all the recent events and everything. So she's become more of a beacon of justice in America as well.
I like where this is going because we never sort of touch upon music a lot in the podcast.
No, we don't.
And I like where this
Rush.
is going.
You just bring up Rush.
It's like, that's not music.
because now that you said they deified Beyonce, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think is another artist that's been deified?
Michael Jackson.
Michael
Wait,
Jackson?
there are
You
way
sure?
too many, man. You
Yeah.
can go back down.
Michael,
history.
nobody wanted to even consider the fact that he could have been. What was that?
That was you.
Was it? My bad. That was me.
No, it was Khalid. Khalid's not
they heard you,
professional.
man.
Khalid is not professional.
Yeah, sure.
But Michael was a bit controversial because he had the
Nobody wanted to believe it though.
child molester thing.
Nobody wanted to. Everybody was like, "Yeah, but it doesn't."
Yeah, but he had some dirt on him. Like Beyonce can't find any dirt on her. Can you find any dirt on Beyonce?
You can find dirt on anyone, man.
Yeah, you can.
You can find.
But
dirt
you
on
don't. You don't
anybody.
fuck with Beyonce.
I think Kanye West has been deified for the wrong reasons.
Kanye.
Yeah,
Because he's
he's
retarded.
downright fucking crazy. That guy, seriously.
that guy did it to himself.
Sorry,
man.
Ye, not Kanye. Ye.
Oh yeah, he's
Jesus.
Yee now. What is that?
Yay.
He's princified himself.
Is it Ye or
Ye, you know.
Ye? Oh,
Ye.
okay.
The artist formerly known as Khan.
Ye.
It's almost like you can look at it as a genius marketing scheme for his music.
Why is this genius?
Because it's just there's so much. We're talking about him right now. I mean, it's not like we're gonna buy his music.
No,
but,
that's dumb.
no,
I
no,
don't.
it's not- it's not
just
the-
because
he's
I'm
so-
talking about somebody. doesn't-
but he's so huge.
if anything, that's a sign to me that he's becoming irrelevant. That he's doing that.
No, I disagree. I disagree because a lot of people have done that in the past.
He doesn't mumble enough.
A lot of people have done that in the
But
past.
see, that's the thing. He still makes good music,
I get it. Yeah.
and that's what's so surprising to me. I'm
Debatable.
like, why do you?
Debatable.
Well, you can, yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, his last album was shit. the ones that he produced were actually really good. He's a really he's
a
an
good
amazing producer.
So same as
I mean, to be honest,
DJ Khaled.
I mean, to be honest, OG, I can't argue with you on rap nowadays because I barely listen to rap.
All right,
Modern
then
You
rap.
should. You
All right,
should.
well,
I'm glad.
have you
glad
heard
you
the Eminem's new album?
Yeah, Kamikaze. Yeah,
I didn't like
a couple
it.
of songs.
Not
didn't like
not a lot of people did.
I didn't like it. I had a huge argument with a friend of mine. I'm sorry, Adlo, if you're listening to this, man, but I still.
Well, because a lot of
I still
people
hold
love
my
him.
opinion.
They love him to death. Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like
He's
this is
deified.
Eminem. He can't. He's exactly. We're just talking about deified.
deified,
He's definitely deified. And not only that, he got so pissed about people hating his album that he made. He did this interview with Sway just to justify why he did that. It's like I was angry, man. People hate my album.
Yeah, because he went after what's his name? I forget. What was it?
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, that was like.
As if that guy even was relevant in the rest. Like, why would you even?
But I liked
he
the
talked about
fact.
his daughter.
I liked the fact that it was like spoken words. It was a really refreshing.
But come on, there's
concept.
so many of them right now.
Okay, fine. There's so many of them, but I think one other thing that I liked about that album is he was talking about. He was basically saying what everyone was thinking about modern rap.
Yeah, mumble rap.
Yeah, but so were like a billion other rappers. That
Yeah, but he released an album about it.
Hey, you know what? I don't believe. I like rappers, especially the OG rappers or whatever you want to call them. But honestly, they're responsible for this shit.
Yeah,
If they cannot hate mumble rap. They're responsible for music becoming more and more about like just petty things, like cars, bitches, all this other shit.
And
you go down that route, you fucking create a generation of people that are not going to care about anything.
And I don't know why it's so surprising to people. If you go back to the early 2000s, it was literally the same thing.
Yeah.
What happens in music is that the mainstream sort of music is always that. It's always bling and women.
Yeah,
and all.
exactly.
It's always been like that. And there was always that, sort of segment or subgenre of rap that was actually very conscious. It's always been that way.
That's true.
And-
it's a very
and-
few that actually
yeah,
speak
But
about
the segment
something.
that's very conscious used to be the mainstream rap.
Not really. If
Yeah, I
you,
didn't know.
if you go back to the 90s, see that's the thing. We have this sort of
filter.
we have this.
We
weird-
edit the bullshit of the past.
we look back at the past like, it was way better back then. If you go back to the 90s and see what was popular back then, it's almost meaningless.
I don't
man.
even want to admit.
Like-
Vanilla Ice was.
come
in
on,
that
man.
Time
I mean,
period. Yeah.
Some of it. See,
But
what
even
happens every-
2000s, like 50 Cent was all about the bitches.
It was all about that. It was always
But
like
50
that.
Cent was likable. He's still likable. I love 50 Cent.
I know what you mean, but I remember people that hated him back then.
Yeah.
I remember.
Like
And I went through a phase of like, this guy, come on, it's just enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at this point,
Like look, 50 Cent had some good songs. I mean, I know the popular ones.
I'm not saying they're not good. I'm saying that they're.
it's just the natural
the
state
content
of
of the song.
The mainstream music, no matter what it is, whether it's rap or whatever, is
Yeah.
always pointed towards the most shallow human like behavior.
Exactly, because
So
that's
Matt
the
told you?
easiest thing. What?
Where?
Thank you very much.
I'm not somebody that's like, oh, high art, everything must be meaningful. No, I'm fine. Let people, if they want to talk about bitches, people feel like they want to talk about the club,
Yeah.
whatever they want to talk about. But then then that means you're okay with whatever comes next, because people will be like, okay, I don't give a shit about the lyrics. I just want the drop. I just want the drop of the
Yeah.
beat,
Right.
and I just want to
wanna
hear.
dance to it.
There's no denying. Sorry, OG. There's no denying that what you're saying is true.
Right.
But back then it was a bit more appealing because they had a fine balance. Like if someone would release an album like Eminem or, for example, Dr. Dre would release an album. Let's talk about Dr. Dre, The Chronic 2001.
Right.
Right? There was a bunch of songs talking about the bitches and the drugs and the ecstasy and the weed and whatever, but there were some songs that were meaningful.
Right.
Right? Like the last track of his of that album was called The Message. It was basically a really, really emotional song. I didn't expect that to come out of Dr. Dre. It's addressing his brother who died. And some songs were also addressing his beefs, and basically reconciling with Eazy-E and whatever.
Right. Yeah.
There was a nice balance. Nowadays, you just don't find that. It's
Yes.
just all
I
bitches, money,
I don't,
drugs.
I don't
drugs,
agree with
drugs.
you, man. I don't agree. I think there hasn't ever been an era in hip hop where you had this many conscious, what you would call conscious rap, woke rap, whatever you call it. Who is one of, if not the biggest hip hop artist at the moment right now. It's Kendrick Lamar.
I love Kendrick. Don't get me wrong. I love that guy.
This guy can easily be categorized as high art. I've been listening to hip hop for so long.
Okay.
I have never heard of anything, and I dismissed him for a while, like especially back in 2000 when he first kind of got popular in 2006, 2007.
You were like, what is this shit?
And then this guy just came rushing, like it was just unbelievable what he was doing. He is such a visionary. And when you think about the best, like if you actually look at the numbers, you look at the best-selling rappers right now, you find J. Cole in that, and on that list, you'd find people like Kendrick Lamar. I think people are just ignoring the fact that even though we have so many irrelevant or just meaningless mumble rappers out there, there are as many conscious rappers
there
that you
are.
can.
But I call it. Look, I always say this, right? The shit pile might get bigger. Yes, the shit pile always gets bigger because the amount of money involved in churning out shit is always going to be more and more. But the amount of good diamonds inside the shit stays the same.
Shit and diamonds, huh?
Yes, shit and diamonds. That's a song right there. That's a mumble rap song right there.
Shit and diamonds, shit and diamonds, shit and diamonds, shit and diamonds.
Shit and diamonds. Shit and diamonds.
There you go.
I took a crap one day and found shit in my diamonds. What?
Shit and my diamonds.
With the fine diamond on my shit.
No, honestly, man, there's so many good rappers out there. People are just not looking in the right place.
It's harder to look now. That's the thing.
Is it
but
though?
actually, it's become look.
It's not harder to look.
No.
It's not harder to look. It's just that there's so
Let
many.
me correct myself. It is easier for you. It's easier tools wise. So with the internet, everything else, to actually find underground music, you can find it like never before. You don't have to go to your local album store and freaking talk to some guy that knows everything about an upcoming band that nobody's fucking heard about. That doesn't exist. You can find all those lists, people's private playlists on Spotify, whatever it is. You can find hipsters. They exist. They're there to help you. All right. But what's happened was you would sometimes hear the rare in the mainstream media. You do not hear that anymore. No way.
Yeah.
That's what's different. What's different is you can never find, because khalas, anybody that would do that has no incentive to work with major media anymore.
Yeah.
You just go do your own YouTube channel or whatever it is.
That's true, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because this just gives you the freedom to look at whatever you want.
Right. Yeah.
If you want to listen to really good hip hop, you can find it. I mean, it's not that hard.
Exactly.
I went through, for the longest time, a phase where I was very sort of introverted when it comes to music. I was very protective of all the artists that I still listen to, like heavy metal and Black Sabbath and whatever.
Right.
And I was really not open to rap.
Yeah, same here.
So I sort of got my introduction with the old school, NWA. Actually, what got me into NWA was the movie, Straight Outta Compton.
Okay.
That sort of opened the gates for me into the world of rap.
I think because just metalheads were jealous. Honestly.
No, you know something? It might surprise you. A lot of metalheads are into rap.
Yeah, but early on,
and vice versa as well, which is very interesting.
yes, but early on that wasn't the case.
Because see, the thing is,
now it is.
The thing is, if you look at in the 2000s where there was new metal, rap and metal combined, bands like bands like Rage Against the Machine and
we're laughing because Mitruk was holding out both his arms to depict new metal and rap, and he just smacked the mic to bring them together.
You have Rage Against the Machine, Linkin Park, Papa Roach, Limp Bizkit. I can't believe I'm saying Limp Bizkit, but whatever. They categorize as new metal. That combination really worked at that time, because I remember it was
Insane Clown Posse.
Hey man, they had a pretty good
2005
song.
called.
They had one good song.
2005 called.
I was saying it. One good song. It was called Homies.
Was it 2005 or 1999 called?
I think it was 2005.
1999 called.
Is it?
Yeah, they want their Easy Target back.
Oh.
You're a Rick and Morty reference for the day. Anyways, so you got, it was Dee Snider. Dee Snider, the lead singer of Twisted Sister. You know Twisted Sister?
Yes. Yep.
He said basically that rap has the anger.
Yeah.
Has the anger that heavy metal has. So, by combining
Yeah,
both.
but early on, a lot of metalheads were very anti-rap because they felt like it was stealing their thunder. Because rap was becoming mainstream.
Yeah.
And metal was falling off.
What's very interesting is that certain labels who had major artists at the time were actually managing both genres. Like I think the label that got Eminem and Dr. Dre also had Marilyn Manson and Nine Inch Nails. Like, so that was such an interesting time, you know. It was
Is there
so
anything-
But they don't care. They just want the money.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Do you know how weird it's become that like everything that was post 80s, because even like not just in music, even movies and whatever else you would look into, even gaming, there's not that much dark and gritty anymore. Like even if you look at stylization in video games, whatever it is, art style, like the Fortnites are popular.
Yeah.
It's that cartoony feel, it's that cartoony vibe, and I feel like there's been a moving away from everything that's like, oh look at it, it's dark, it's filtered, it has like a bit of this, and it's like, oh, it's depressing.
I don't think so because I'm sort of having a resurgence with the Doom and Wolfenstein series.
But even
of
that's
video games.
bright.
It's not bright if you think about it.
Doom is bright.
Okay, maybe
I think-
Doom, but look, Doom. I mean, you wouldn't let a kid play Doom, really.
No, but we're not talking about whether or not it's kiddie or not. Maybe I made it sound like that. But
I know exactly what you mean. I think it's just the time that we're in right now. If you had made like if you look at the superhero movies that are coming out, if you look back at the Tim Burton version of
Right.
Batman, of like how dark and like neo noir it was,
Yeah.
and then you look at something like the Avengers right now, and just that's the exact difference that you're talking about.
That
is exactly
It's-
what I'm talking
That's
about.
my biggest argument.
It's
with,
very bright. It kind of feels like I think it's just that's their way of catching, like
Yeah.
having more audience.
I always
the thing, you
always
can-
say, Khalid, I always say, you know, with Marvel movies, it's like they have a second sun in the studio that they're shooting in because it's so bright. So bright and so cheerful.
It is true. It is true. But that's the thing. They still have dark scenes, but those dark scenes are like vivid. There's colors. There's purple. There's dark blue. There's so you see darkness. There's depictions of darkness, but there's no grim filter of like, you know. I describe it as places where people used to smoke cigarettes for like 10 years, and then everybody stopped smoking. And they're like, oh wait, there's color in the world again. Or if you live in Canada for 6 months, whatever it is you do. But that's how I felt exactly. The DC movies and some other video games as well. There's always been this argument that ever since Instagram, ever since Facebook came out, and this like whole study about, you know, colors and things that look like Skittles, they attract more attention, and therefore you get more clicks. And
It's possible. I think, and I don't know if it's just a natural thing of how art evolves.
Yeah.
Because if you look back at past movements, you know, like when you go back to the 70s, it was very, very colorful at the time as well.
Right.
With most art mediums.
Come
so
on.
I don't know if it
70s.
was.
you're right. The 70s was colorful.
I don't know if it was this specific.
But it was
time that
colorful
happened.
for a reason, OJ.
I mean,
Well,
we all
I mean,
know
if you look at the older,
Yo, talk about no.
well, maybe it was drug induced.
It was.
It was the 70s and 60s, I guess. You're right. In a way, you are right. A lot of times,
there's
the
no
culture,
doubt about that.
But hey, that also depends on where you lived in the 70s.
That is
I mean, I wasn't born in the 70s, but I saw a lot of documentaries. For example, if you lived in San Francisco in the 70s,
Yeah.
it was all flowers and love and colors and shit. But if you lived in Birmingham, for example, in the 70s, it was like steel
dreary
factories and whatever.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Or Bahrain.
Man, I was gonna bring it back to actually some guy, I can't remember who it was, that was talking about mumble rap, and he was saying that how the culture influences the music. So like you look at all old jazz used to be in speakeasies and underground clubs where people drink alcohol illegally and have marijuana, reefer cigarettes. Goddamn reefer cigarettes, and that
reefers.
influenced the jazz music of the time. That it was like chaotic, outrageous, everything else. So this guy was talking about how mumble rap is probably influenced by MDMA.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
No, not just the. I think you're talking about probably was it Joe? I think Joe Rogan was talking about.
Was it?
I don't know. If,
I
that was
watched
the
a
same.
bunch of them, but
But he also mentioned not only MDMA but also lean and Xanax. and all that stuff.
that is the one.
It's-
That's the one. Joe
I
Rogan,
honestly think it's he's probably 90% spot on because when you look back at movements or just at historical moments like
Right.
that, it's usually those certain drugs that really affect.
What is it? But what is it? I don't like. What is it about MDMA that makes you go?
I don't know if it's MDMA. I think it's more of lean.
Ah,
Because I
What
don't.
is
I don't
lean?
remember. it's
out
something
of
that
date.
I think
Purple drank.
I'm gonna assume that it's something that they drink.
No, it's basically
what you take at the
lean.
gym.
I watched a video about this. A bunch of like UK rappers were talking about how they take lean. Lean is basically Sprite and cough syrup. Like cough syrup that has, I think, some opioid in it.
What?
Yeah, like I think it was
Like I know people used
codeine.
to drink.
Yeah, codeine.
I know people used to drink cough syrup to get high. It's freaking dangerous as hell.
Yeah, it
as
is.
well.
It is.
But what does the 7-Up have to do with anything? Is it just like
I don't know. They just.
I think it
drink
just makes me like no, you know.
so? Is it diet 7-Up? That's why it's lean. I don't. What is going
It
on?
might
know.
be. It
It's
might be.
it's the lean, it's the Xanax,
Yeah.
it's some other.
Everything does this slant sound.
Yeah, I think it just makes
Fades you out.
Basically, makes your tongue really heavy.
Yeah.
Yes. All right.
So
Oh shit! No, I'm sorry. I got to my throat's head again. You guys, anything you want to plug? Anything that you're interested about in Bahrain?
how long? How long? Have we
We're
been going
up to
for?
55 minutes, man.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We can
Already
go for
there.
more.
We can go for more.
We can go for
I
more.
really need to take a piss.
You go. Having a piss in the diamonds and shit in the make. All right, go take a piss, and I'll continue talking to Matruk about
Oh
his plans.
no,
for-
OJ, don't please
Yeah,
don't.
leave him.
Oh god.
Leave him.
Oh god. This is your one-on-one spot with Khalid
It
Dosri.
is.
Please.
Matruk, what do
Please,
you?
Khalid, start
I
talking.
heard
Yeah.
from a little bee, a Nizari bee, that you're doing a stand-up set at Darsin. Darsin
Yeah.
is a cafe that.
No, it depends if that little bee watches my videos.
Oh, because it was your idea. He's
Yeah.
gonna hear this. You know he's gonna hear this.
Yeah, he is. He is definitely gonna hear this.
So you plugged the show. You want the show was kind of like inspired by you telling him and harassing him that you want a show.
I was
Comedy
I
show.
was not harassing him.
You were
I was telling him,
violently provoking
"Excuse me,
him.
good sir, if you want to keep this train rolling, then
show.
do a show."
Right.
That's what I said.
But I thought they already had it scheduled. They just didn't want to do it this month. I thought it was like November.
It was really stupid. I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. B, but it was really stupid if you didn't do it this month. I mean, there's nothing stopping you.
And what was your logic? There was nothing.
My logic was that I've been away for 2 months and I don't want to lose my groove. that was my logic, literally.
That is selfishness. That's what you are, Mithru.
I mean, it's just because like I wrote like 8 new bits that are like guaranteed. It's a sure thing.
Don't say it's guaranteed.
It's a sure thing, man. I'm that confident about them.
Are you?
Because when I do stand up, it's never like the way I imagine it to play out.
Right.
When I'm practicing in my room, I'm really lively and I'm really like, oh yeah. I'm
Do you hold
screaming.
like something in your hand
No,
for the mic?
no.
You don't do that. You know. One of those
I just sort of wave my hands and whatever.
right.
But I know if I do the show, it's not going to be the same.
Why? Oh, because you freak yourself out whenever you're like Miguel. You in the middle of it, I see you sweat. It starts with your brow. There's a little bit of a sweat going on, and he does get more confident about his sets during the colder months of the year.
I do. Or when there's like a full blasting AC,
Yeah.
like just right in front
then
of me.
you're okay. Then you feel fine. So you go up on stage. You see the crowd start to not react to something, or you start fumbling through an idea that you're presenting.
See, most of the time is for me, it's the jokes that I don't expect to get a laugh that actually do get a laugh. So that really throws me off.
Right.
I got to sort of practice.
But you did practice. You did the show in September.
Yeah.
So
at the Ravens
why are
Nest.
you being such a desperate little bitch?
Why being such a bitch, man?
Why are you being
Because at that time I hadn't written the bits that I told you about,
Right.
the 8 bits. You don't
I'm
talk about
I'm not gonna feed that. I'm not gonna allow that. I'm gonna dump this whole episode because of that.
But yeah, I mean, the B said he wanted 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And 15 minutes he will get, my kind sir.
15 minutes from Metruk. I have to do 20.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
You're doing a show soon, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's,
By the way, how's
What's that?
how does it
You mean the
feel?
whole mechanic thing or the stand-up show?
No, the stand-up
The
thing.
stand-up shows feels good because it's been a while since I got paid for stand-up. That's one thing.
But does it feel weird that you're performing for?
Yeah,
What is it? Like a
Jesus.
cancer? It was a cancer
No, it's not-
awareness.
I don't think it's a cancer awareness. It's just like pink. Maybe. I don't know.
I think
Maybe
it is because October is like cancer.
Yeah,
month.
it is.
I
Cancer-
mean, that sounds weird to say.
No, it's
but
not.
so I didn't mean it that, but
The cancer is really in this month, isn't
but
it?
it is. It is. I mean, I don't think they call it cancer month. It's cancer awareness
No,
month.
it's not. No, it's breast
Breast cancer awareness month, sorry.
You have to add
No,
the
no,
breast
it's the
part.
breast part. Yeah.
Yeah, I know because they wear pink in the NFL and everybody does their thing about it. I know, but I don't know if it's a charity event. I have no idea what to expect. I just know that they decided that a breast cancer pink themed event for that usually would be about for women, maybe by women, should be represented by a Saudi man. I don't know why. And I was like, and again, I'm in a situation where I'm like, have they seen my material?
Do they know that I'm a man?
Do they know?
Maybe they think I'm a woman.
That's actually a good point, man. It's like, I know it's difficult to believe, but I have a penis, sir. But no, this stuff happens all the time, man. I was invited to it was Temkeen and some other group of people that were doing like a small little speech
Soiree.
They wanted public speakers, right? They wanted public speakers and people that are entrepreneurs.
I have dabbled in public speaking. If anyone wants to
Good.
pay me, please.
Please let him finish.
Oh my god! This is like now I know why there's a Matrouk building in Jafar because that's the dabbling he does. He dabbles in many things.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying I did one of those public speaking events, and it was for like local entrepreneurs and female entrepreneurs, and they wanted somebody that was a creative, like anybody that was like any creative field. So I came up and I was talking about how I was doing the MTC and some other places, doing local events with people, stuff like that. My backstory. So then I found out that it's for female entrepreneurs, and everybody speaking wasn't female. So it was literally
That is so weird.
it
man.
was so weird. I think the poster's somewhere on my Instagram, but maybe I deleted it. But I think people complained actually.
That is so
There were
weird.
some people that complained on Twitter, and they were like, "Why are there three guys?" And I was thinking at the time, I was like, "What?" And to disarm it, I made that joke. The second I got on stage, I was like, "This is what you would want to be doing in a public speaking forum about female entrepreneurs." Is invite three men to tell you how to do your jobs.
I think they were hoping that someone would make that joke. That's
you
why
had
they
to address it because the other guys were
You
being
gotta cut
really.
the tension, man.
They were being really serious, man. They were like,
that's interesting.
And I was like, why are you speaking, telling other
It's-
women what to do, man?
It's like it's almost like a guy writing a book about how it feels to be a woman. You know, that's
what?
really
Who?
What?
This
like-
is a reference I'm not getting.
Did I hear you correctly?
it's. God damn it! Just forget it. Man. I don't know how I came up with that, but it sounded better in my head.
Okay.
What if Caitlyn Jenner wrote that book? Would it be valid?
No,
What do you mean? It would be valid
You know,
why would it?
because he wants to. God damn it. She wants to be sharing the story of how he became she.
No. But if he wrote a book about how to be a woman, like how does it feel to be a woman?
I'm gonna
exactly.
Say that
How does it feel? Not
obviously-
how to be a
obviously-
woman.
How does it feel to
obviously,
be a woman?
It's amazing for her because even men can do better jobs than women, even as women who are better women than women because she won every award I can think of as far as like achievement, and she wasn't a woman for more than 3 months before she won all those awards. So in my head, I'm like, okay, she deserves it. She gets it, and she gets the right to now
That's
talk
a
about
very
it.
interesting way of looking at it.
We're talking about
I never thought of it
Caitlyn
that
Jenner,
way.
right?
Yeah. But I'm trying to like make sure I'm really depicting
It's like
the
she
idea
won
carefully.
more awards than women,
more awards than a lot of women. Yeah.
and she used to be a man.
And it used to be so a man is doing a better job of being a woman
than a woman.
than women.
So even when a man
We win,
becomes a woman, it's
we
still
win.
misogynist.
We still win, no matter what.
Oh my god.
So there you go. That's why they invited me to. That's why they invited me to a soiree stand-up comedy show about Pink October.
Because of Caitlyn Jenner.
because I
you-
have insights like that one.
Are you gonna do Are you gonna recycle a set, or are you gonna do a new one?
I'm probably gonna recycle.
Yeah, safest bet.
Safest. I can just like link a few together, whatever works.
I have a bright idea. Why don't you just go there unprepared and see what
Right?
comes out?
I swear to God, if I wasn't getting paid, I feel like I would like to bomb. I feel like I really want to bomb right now. I think, you know why I think it is?
Why?
Because in my last stand-up set, I was getting pissed off that people were laughing before the punchline came in.
Oh, I hate that.
I was a little annoyed.
Was that the one at the Raven's Nest?
Yeah. I was really annoyed. I was like, wait, are you guys just laughing because it sounds like this is a cue for laughter? Or are you listening to what I'm saying? And I think that happens for a bunch of them. They just listen to, they hear you like say something and you say it in a specific way. And they're like, that's not the joke, buddy.
It's almost like they're expecting a joke, so they're like, I'll just laugh
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
You know,
So that's why I like going to places where I can bomb. Because then I know what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. And I don't like it when I'm doing right all the time. I don't like it.
yeah.
do.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's almost like that thing where if everyone tells you that you're doing a good job, then
You can, that's
not
a
gonna
problem
progress.
in this country. I swear, it's
Oh
not
my
even just
God.
in the Gulf.
I've been
like,
saying that forever, man. It's like, come on, yeah. You know, we're past that point where, okay, the youth are great. You guys are doing a great job. No, this has to end. You know, someone has to tell that artist he's drawing a piece of shit painting in that unknown gallery that no one cares about. Someone has to tell him because they're not going to get any better doing that.
But I know it's so annoying, and I think
But
they're
it's
helping.
art, it's self-expression, it's...
That's fine. But
fine.
there has to be a critic somewhere, not some asshole that just everything is shit.
Yeah,
No.
But maybe we need someone
Develop
like
the
that.
language. Be like,
Exactly.
oh, hey, here's the part I liked. Here's the part that I feel like needs work. And I have to like yank at people to tell me the truth sometimes.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a sensitive guy that has ever made them feel like, oh, I'm gonna kill them if they said the wrong thing. I'm fine with it. Like I'll do it to you guys, but not to them. No, I just, generally speaking, I notice in the Gulf there's a trend with Arabs and entertainment. They will say you are good, amazing. Only look at the positive side of everything you do until you're famous. And then once you're famous,
And then they'll hate
everybody wants to hate on why you're not good enough. That's like, well, you freaking told him he was amazing all throughout, man.
That's exactly why he got to that point, because
Yes.
everyone told him he was amazing and he thinks he's a god.
Exactly.
And then, you know,
He never
suddenly
had to
people are
develop it.
disappointed.
Isn't it like the plight of the millennial?
In what sense?
You know, being raised and, you know, throughout his whole life being told that he was special and his talent.
Well, that's why I say we've had.
and then he goes, and
I
then he
think
goes.
it's just the Khaliji thing, man. Because
But yeah, we had that way before there was a millennial tag to
Yeah.
it. That
I mean,
attitude was there
look at
before.
our celebrities.
So they're following the trend.
The rest of the world is catching up to us. Yeah. Oh, millennials these days, like
We've been doing this forever, goddammit.
people are getting lazy.
Like seriously, look at the celebrities that we are, you know, they're so called,
Yeah.
you know, amazing. That we're all proud of. You know, I honestly, I can name like at least 20 of them. They're like, these people are all right, man.
Yeah.
Like they're literally all right. I don't know why they've been known for so long. I don't know what the hell they've been doing that was so innovative.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Like
I-
what 20 I'm talking
I
about.
think I do.
Yeah.
But you know, after we finish this session, we'll have a
Definitely.
extended discussion.
Yeah, we getting into different territory. But what were we getting at? What were we saying about millennials?
Millennials, they're being spoon-fed.
Yeah, they are.
You know,
But like,
millennials-
yeah, we were talking about the celebrities and how to deal with the fact that you're not getting feedback until it's too late, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what do you guys think? Tell me about the show. Radio Bahrain, my show's shit, right? Come on.
I haven't
If I'm
heard
being
your
perfectly
show.
honest, I haven't heard it.
Good. Nobody else has either. Nobody knows anything.
I think Khalid is just like knows it's so bad. He doesn't want to.
I don't think he's on air. I think he just tells people that he is because he knows no one's listening.
Take a picture.
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday I was talking to Khalid and he was telling me, "Oh, dude, you know, tomorrow, like, check out. I'll play a song that you really like." I just told him, "Dude, Yanni, let's be real here. I'm not gonna be awake for that shit.
Yeah.
Just send me the link to the song for
It's
God's
too bad.
sake."
Too bad because I played Rush.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I
Really?
did actually today.
Really?
It was a test.
What song?
Tom Sawyer.
Oh, you
Oh.
basic bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
Come
Because
on.
I wanted to just give you enough.
It's like saying, "Oh, I love Metallica. Oh, what's your favorite song?" "Oh, Enter Sandman."
no.
Basic. I'm disappointed. Khalid.
Unforgiven too, actually.
That song is like.
Turn the page.
Turn the Page was a cover.
I know, but still, they did it better.
The original's better. The original is better.
Hurt his feelings right now. I was like,
I'm just
what?
trying to say everything that's going to piss him off. Everything that I can think of.
You played Tom Sawyer really today?
Yeah, I did.
Oh man.
You wouldn't know, though.
Oh man, oh.
What
Yeah.
difference does it make? You can just.
I mean, I don't even think the
radio.
radio works in my car. To be honest, it's stuck on one channel. Like I still have, like my car is so ancient, I still have to raise the aerial up to fucking.
You're joking.
Seriously.
Do you have to manually raise it, or
No, like there's a, it's power
durable
assisted.
power.
Yeah,
Oh, it
power
actually
assisted.
works. That's good. That's good. So
But
you
it's-
don't put
but it's-
dial
No, but it's stuck on one channel.
do you have a little tennis ball on top of the?
No.
No.
I want to experiment with putting those military style radio.
The
receiver.
whiplash ones.
Yeah, the whiplash one. You know, like these old bumper cars. Like what they.
If that hit somebody on the head, I would laugh my ass off. All right, OJ, what's new with you? Any shows? You plugging anything? We talked about our shows. We talked about Matruk's show.
It's the bees
Not
show.
something that I have. Well, yeah, I think I can plug this in. Why not?
Why not?
But I don't know if I'll be done with it by the time this episode uploads. But
Do you have any shows from here to 6 months?
But it's I'm working on 2 short films. One of them is about depression.
Okay.
It's a bit general, but that's all I can say about it right now. And another one is about domestic violence abuse,
Okay, so both starring Matruk then.
and he's the perpetrator.
It's the first movie and the sequel.
He gets depressed and then he hurts a
just
woman.
beating
Those are the 2 films that I'm working on.
What am I, the fucking punching bag right now?
Oh yeah,
He said for me to disagree with you. I'm going for it, man. I'm going all the way. Don't worry.
we're taking the bees' advice.
I'll
man.
get OJ next time. Like, unfortunately, I can't talk shit about his stand-up set last time because he fucking listened.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
listens,
OJ's
man.
back.
Just to let you know, OJ was doing his own little mumble rap bullshit he did for his stand-up for a while there, and I don't know where the real OJ
it
disappeared.
was the
to.
lean, man. It was the lean. I have to admit, I'm coming out now, so it's I went to an AA meeting, a lean meeting. I have to be honest about it.
To be fair, this guy he piss off so many people because there's so many people that would go on stage, me, Matruk, other people would just fuck up. We'd just be like, we fucked up, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I feel like you did bad or you did this or you did good, you did. But then OJ, you could see a good set underneath his bullshit way of actually saying it. And you're like, dude, we can't hear you most of the time. Can you just say what you want to say? And he riffed it, and then last time he went on stage, it was OJ returned.
And it was perfect because like it wasn't planned. I did my set about like public toilets and whatever.
Yeah.
And his set was kind of related to my set.
Yeah,
Which I thought you guys planned for a second.
No,
we didn't.
it was totally unplanned.
When he mentioned that toilet thing, I was like, please don't go too far with that because I'm kind of talking about. But it went well. I'm glad. Yeah.
No,
I
OJ's
really
back.
enjoyed
OJ's
it.
back.
OJ's not just back.
and the bee is extremely happy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
The bee is extremely happy.
Are we not saying his name anymore?
No.
Look, it's either chopped beef or the bee.
That's right. I don't. Where'd you come up with chopped beef? By
I
the way,
don't know, man. I don't know.
were you saying this at Animania last week?
No, I was just. I was sitting with him one day, and I was just looking at him. I was like, this guy's chopped beef. You know,
Yeah.
just a thought that sort of came
Yeah.
up. For some reason, I tried to come up with an explanation, like, "Oh, he's not in right now because it's a world full of vegans and whatever."
Yeah.
But to be honest, it was just a random thought that came to mind. I was like, "This guy chopped beef. That's it."
No, but this guy is to me he's a bee because he's a busy little guy. Yeah,
He's a busy little guy.
He's a little cute little bee, bumblebee, right? But then every now and then
he's a bumble rapper.
He buzzes too close to your fucking ear. Every now and then he buzzes too fucking close, and I just have to slap him. You should have seen it, man. I was teaching him in Animania. Like I was set up just to give you guys some. Don't know this about my side. I've talked about playing like tabletop games like Dungeons and Dragons and Warhammer shit like that. So I did a table like convention demo for people, and he was the last guy there on the last day, and I was teaching him how to play. 2 fucking hours. I'm trying to explain the game to him, right? And it's like, okay, it's going very slowly, and he wants to crack jokes because he's like, oh, I know you're fucking listening right now, by the way. Yes, I'm saying it.
We know
I
you're
am
listening.
saying it. All right, I'm saying it. I'm trying to not joke with him, right? Because a part of me is like, okay, first of all, I don't know if he's even paying attention because he does this thing where he looks around. We all know it. And then the second thing is because I got so annoyed by his fucking laugh that I'm one of the few comedians that has become, I don't want to make him laugh. I don't want to make this person laugh right now. He's going to just keep buzzing in my ear. So 2 hours after that, I teach him the game and everything else, and he's forgetting shit. He's doing this, and I'm like, okay, he's learning. He's doing. We finished it. We played a demo game, and he won because it was like just a bullshit little demo game to freaking explain the war game and how the tanks work and everything else. So nothing was balanced.
And you got pissed off because he kicked your ass?
Did you make him
No,
going?
I got pissed off now because me and Ghazi are like, yeah, well done, good game, everything else, nice, and then he starts going immediately whenever he gets confidence. I won because there's this thing in military strategy where you invest. I went, Bingaba, like 2 minutes ago. Mom dog, I swear to God, mom dog. 2 seconds ago, he didn't even know that was a fucking tank. He didn't even know it was a tank, bro. And
He's been holding that word for so long, he just exploded at that point.
I was like, you are fucking shitting me right
You
now.
should have seen Khalid's face when he said his face, like his neck literally went into his shoulder.
I literally saw him explode right now.
I was like, you didn't even. It's like, the Napoleonic age enveloped a pincer maneuver where you envelop the right flank of the enemy. It's like you didn't even know it was a fucking person 5 seconds ago. You didn't even know shit about the game. I can't. Like he's an amazing guy.
We love him.
The most driven guy I know. One of the most driven guys I know, as far as like. The effort he puts in, and I fucking always give him compliments, even when I'm shitting on him, I give him compliments because he's fucking out there doing his shit, right?
Right, yeah.
But,
Respect, seriously,
yeah,
respect.
in that sense, right? Yeah, like, but that was.
But the Napoleonic tactics aren't working.
They worked, man. Those Napoleonics,
They do work. They do work when it involves demons, aliens, and fucking space creatures.
Number 2.
That's 2 or 3.
Number 2.
That's
No,
number
that's
two.
number 2.
Number 2. The second one that was before doesn't count because it was in the same sentence. You just interrupted.
What movie were you talking about?
Your mama's house too. Right. So that is 1 minute 15. That is usually our average. So
1 minute?
1 minute?
No, 1 minute. What's wrong?
1 hour.
1 hour 15. Guys, good session.
It was a good session.
Good, it was good. I like
Indeed, it
this.
was, yeah.
I like this new style.
So we'll release this in 7 months, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Hopefully. These things take time, you know?
Yeah.
You want good quality.
Definitely. You always want to make sure. I'm just going to put it up without censors. I'm done.
97.1.
I think I'm just going to put it up without any censors. I think I'm done with censors.
I think
do it,
you
man,
should,
just do
yeah.
it.
I think people are going to go through the whole video until they get to this point and be like, why did they say fuck all the time? What's going on? There's no bleep.
I don't want you to censor it because I want people to feel that raw sort of scream, you know,
From
that
the
you
Jalama.
did. Yeah.
Oh shit, I said his name. God damn it.
No. The B.
The B.
The B.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not gonna censor anymore because I don't because I was worried initially somebody freaked me out about it like, oh, you can't monetize on YouTube later on, and I was like, why should I care anymore? I work for Radio Bahrain now.
Get paid now, boy.
No, because
getting the paper
do you know
money.
why it is? Because I actually have to censor there, so I can't be asked to do it here. I'm like, I need this to be my outlet.
Yeah, I feel like he just sort of like holds it in the whole day and
Oh, yeah, I know.
now
I
he just-
felt that, man.
yeah.
Like, I could just hear him. And so,
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Remember, share, like, and subscribe, and hit that little notify button because it's going to give you updates every time a video is out. So that means you're not going to be bothered because it's once every 6 months. We've already established that. And please join us in all of our shows. Our upcoming the stand-up shows at Darsin. That's going to be this month.
on the 19th of October.
19th of October at Darsin Cafe. That's the one in the museum at the Bahrain National Museum. Is it a ticketed event?
I'm not sure.
All right, no details on that yet. Just follow Matrouk on Instagram. Can you plug your Instagram?
MATS 5775. That's
All right.
MATS 5775.
Yeah. And also check out OJ's upcoming 2 short movies, one about domestic violence, the other about depression, so technically the same movie, really. And
about Matrouk.
the Matrouk Manor. That's what it's going to be called. What's your Instagram?
It's moe.zultan. Is it?
Z?
Is it?
No, it's SULTANZ.
Yeah, it's
That's it.
MOE.SULTANZ.
That's
Yeah.
it.
All right, there we go.
There we go.
Took us a while, but we got there. And remember, I'm going to be hosting. I'm going to be doing a stand-up set with Amy Vaya, the vivacious Amy Vaya, the beautiful Amy Vaya, at this Pink October event at the Waikiki. I'm not sure what that is. It's a restaurant, or it's a restaurant / kitchen. I don't know what that means anymore.
I think it's a lounge or something.
It's a lounge.
Yeah.
It's on Instagram as a kitchen for some reason, and that's going to be. Damn it. Actually,
You don't even remember what it
No,
is.
it's 2 days from now. Just follow my Instagram. You'll see the post on there. It's Kdossy, KDOSSYY, and you'll see the post on there. All right, guys, you have a good one and enjoy the rest of your podcast time.